for, and then we'll get to the big moment.
Megyn, I want to ask about your look.
My who?
Your look. Your look, Megyn.
Oh, my Luke.
Your look. Did I not say it right?
I don't know. I mean, like, you're way cooler than I am. I don't know what you're talking. My Luke.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
But this woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. And we broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger, and that was her goal, #goal, to marry Prince Harry. Meghan Markle targeted Prince Harry. She wanted to be a star. She rejected a couple of other British guys who weren't powerful enough. Then she was rejected by a bunch of them. How embarrassing for Prince Harry to have been the one who fell for it. What a dope. Meghan Markle is at it again. She can't help herself.
It started with a laughable moment, Meghan Markle being complimented on her Luke, only to spiral into awkward confusion. But that slip was more than just a misheard word. It was a glimpse into something bigger. Megyn, the woman who once dreamed of marrying Prince Harry and living like royalty, now finds herself mocked for trying too hard to be relatable. From her $100 million Netflix flop to endless internet memes exposing the performance behind her authentic image, Megyn's carefully curated world seems to crumble every time she steps into the spotlight.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. The queen is mean to me.
That Luke moment was funny on the surface, but it exposed something deeper. Megyn's constant need for control and her obvious insecurity. She laughed it off, yet her reactions showed just how uncomfortable she gets when the spotlight isn't scripted in her favor. And that's the story of Megyn in a nutshell. Every detail has to be perfect, every moment rehearsed, every image polished. But when the cracks show, they reveal a woman desperate to maintain an illusion, even as the audience begins to see through the act.
Did I do something?
No, stop. By the way, I love your Luke.
Sorry, what's that?
Your Luke. You look amazing. Your Luke.
My Luke, my
Luke. My look. She likes my Luke.
Anywho,
Behind the polished smile was an even bigger expectation. Megyn wasn't just chasing fame. She believed marrying Harry meant stepping into billionaire royalty. Rumors say she was shocked to learn his fortune was only a few million, not the endless wealth she imagined. For someone who grew up with vision boards and Hollywood ambitions, Harry wasn't just a husband. He was the ultimate career move. She turned down men without status, then aimed straight at a prince. And the irony, the fairy tale she plotted hasn't delivered the life she wanted.
For a grand plan, it turns out that Meghan Markle has no influence. She is actually failing at becoming an influencer, which is something that up until her, I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know it was possible to fail at doing that, because literally anyone can do it.
Do you believe there were 80 crew members?
if there were, what the hell kind of budget is Netflix paying for this bullshit show?
Put hands on someone that wasn't doing something fast enough for you. And that we wanted to have because it's so authentic to Meghan Markle. She is known as a dictator in heels. Yes, she is a ginormous bully. And when she does that to you, you better jump up and run like a lightning bolt just hit you. And we wanted to show that side of her personality. So that's why we put that in there.
I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it.
By elevating it, Meghan Markle means she has to show her wealth at every turn. This is the first of 5 different apron changes because Meghan believes that many aprons shows many wealth. Also, the use of olive oil is another way of elevating herself. Just add some olive oil to everything because it's expensive.
When Meghan and Harry signed that $100 million Netflix deal, it was sold as her big comeback. No palace rules, no royal restrictions, just Meghan, finally free to tell her own story. The project promised warmth, relatability, and a chance to show the world a softer side. Instead, it turned into a painfully overproduced spectacle. Viewers expected insight, but got staged kitchen chats, rehearsed laughs, and awkward attempts to look ordinary. What should have been her grand win became one of her most public failures.
Out of a 2015 Pinterest post. And Danielle's favorite snack is peanut butter pretzels, so she gets a bag of peanut butter pretzels and takes the peanut butter pretzels and pours them from one plastic bag to another. And even though peanut butter is his favorite snack, she made sure to write peanut butter pretzels on the bag just in case he's allergic.
I think we're getting absolutely nothing that's authentic out of this. I mean, I think watching it was quite disappointing because you don't actually get that look into her life that you think you're going to get or you thought you were going to get when the series first said that it was going to launch. I mean, it's really this sort of charade of her playing a part in a home that's not her own, you know, with people that she doesn't quite know.
Hey, Maureen Callahan and I discovered firsthand, Glenn, when we did our parody of Megyn's stupid Netflix show, trying to make herself into the next Martha Stewart, and we realized her one-pot pasta is just a blatant ripoff of Martha Stewart's one-pot pasta, which turned out to be like one of her most famous recipes.
Before we dive deeper, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss updates when stories like this take unexpected turns. Because what happened next with Meghan Markle shocked everyone. Instead of admiration, the internet unleashed a storm. Memes flooded Twitter, clips were mocked on TikTok, and every relatable moment was twisted into a punchline. The harder she tried to seem down to earth, the more people pointed out the absurdity of a duchess preaching struggle from inside a mansion.
Excited because one of my closest friends is coming over to help me cook today. Shit, what's her name? Line?
My name is Megyn Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy fucking Kaling. I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you? Mindy and I are such great friends, like besties. Like, I love her. Like, she doesn't know my name, but we're best.
This candle just reminds me so much of growing up in LA. You know what? This knife reminds me of growing up in LA. Kosher salt brings me back to my days in LA. I'm an LA native. I am a Los Angelite. This salt reminds me of growing up in LA. This carbon monoxide detector just really takes me back to my time in LA where I grew up. Because I grew up in LA. I grew up in LA.
But the criticism didn't stop at memes. Behind the scenes, stories began to surface, painting an even harsher picture of Meghan Markle's personality. Former staff members described her as impossible to work with, earning the nickname Dictator in Heels. There were whispers of her snapping at assistants, berating workers for the smallest mistakes, and creating a climate of fear around her. Suddenly, the carefully crafted image of a kind, misunderstood duchess collided with claims of arrogance and bullying. Viewers couldn't reconcile the warm, smiling Megyn on camera with the reports of a woman who allegedly reduced staff to tears. And while the palace tried to keep these stories buried, Netflix only amplified the divide, because the more she presented herself as authentic, the more people saw a calculated performance.
The best way to have a snack is to take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label on it. Tap water!
Here we go, yes.
Megyn, tell me where you got that gorgeous bracelet.
It's Megyn. Megyn.
You keep saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now.
It's very important to me. My dearest friends know it's Megyn, like the month of May.
Right.
I am, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not just saying this for rhetorical effect. I am physically nauseated watching that clip. That is like a parody of what that show should be. I had to get it.
If Megyn's personality raised eyebrows, the actual production of her Netflix show turned those suspicions into ridicule. Nothing about it felt natural, from her endless apron changes to the dramatic drizzle of olive oil on every dish. Viewers quickly caught on to the over-the-top staging. The kitchen looked more like a glossy magazine set than a real home, with perfectly aligned plates, spotless counters, and food that looked more styled than edible. Every laugh felt timed, every conversation rehearsed, and every gesture polished within an inch of its life. Instead of warmth, it gave off the vibe of a woman desperate to prove she was relatable while drowning in luxury. The result was awkward, stiff, and painfully artificial. And as audiences watched, they realized Megyn wasn't letting them into her world at all. She was selling them a character, the relatable duchess, who never really existed.
Meghan Markle filmed season 1 and season 2 at the same time for her cookery show, right? And somehow they released 8 episodes for season 1, and now they're releasing the next 8 episodes for season 2. I'm sure that season 2 will be much better. I mean, of course, producers typically would release the worst episodes in season 1 to capture the audience, right? And then release the best episodes in season 2. No, of course not.
This is by far the worst deal in Netflix history. This show for me was unoriginal, dull, and as expected.
Part of what was making her show unwatchable was just some of the comments she was making, okay? Like, in one episode, she's talking about how you shouldn't fill up your ice cube tray with tap water.
With Love, Megyn, that stupid program on Netflix, failed to rank among Netflix's top 300 most watched titles between January and June. The New York Post, confirmed Markle's 8-part series ranked 383rd with just 5.3 million views since it debuted on March 4th. It's crazy how low that was.
What made the failure even more striking was that Megyn was supposed to dominate the influencer world. With her royal title, celebrity status, and global attention, becoming a lifestyle powerhouse seemed inevitable. Yet somehow she managed to flop at the very thing almost anyone can do, building influence. Instead of gaining followers, her attempts looked forced, staged, and out of touch. People mocked the idea that she, of all people, couldn't sell a relatable brand. The more she leaned into polished perfection, the less convincing she became. And while others turned authenticity into millions of loyal fans, Megyn's audience slipped away. Her show didn't make her more influential. It highlighted how little real influence she actually has. In a digital world where authenticity wins, Megyn proved that a flawless facade is the quickest way to lose trust.
I'm so glad Megyn is teaching us how to salt popcorn. She's really worked hard, guys, hasn't she?
And since we put all of our energy into making
that stale popcorn.
Wait, can you monetize other? There is no way Netflix cut these two losers a check for $100 million and said, go show us your genius.
Yeah.
We know you've got it in you. Who doesn't love watching you two win, win, win all day long?
By the time the credits rolled on her so-called comeback, the truth was unavoidable. Meghan Markle wasn't offering authenticity. She was performing a role. Every detail felt scripted, every smile too polished, every scene dripping with the pressure to convince the world she was relatable. But instead of drawing people closer, it pushed them further away. The irony was impossible to ignore. A duchess with private chefs, staff, and million-dollar homes trying to show she understood everyday struggles. Audiences weren't buying it. Instead, her relatable image became a running joke, a meme factory that spread faster than her message ever could. What should have cemented her influence instead exposed the widening gap between who Megyn is and who she wants the public to believe she is. And that leaves one question hanging in the air. Do you think Megyn will ever be able to rebuild her public image, or has the damage already been done?
Having your friends around and being nice and providing them with things that they would like. So it's a very silly, childish way to be, I think.
Well, it is. And the fact that she couldn't even come up with an original title. I mean, come on. Cooking with Love compared to With Love Megyn. Like, it's just so obvious. As you say, Angela,
Pamela Anderson had to address Meghan Markle copying her cooking show, while Markle's Netflix deal might actually still happen?
In the end, Meghan Markle's story isn't just about a misheard Luke or even a failed Netflix experiment. It's about the collapse of a carefully constructed image. She set out to reinvent herself as the relatable duchess, free from palace politics and royal rules. But what the world saw was a woman struggling to balance wealth, fame, and authenticity. Every attempt to control the narrative only made it more obvious that her life is less about connection and more about performance. The internet, once curious, now treats her as a punchline, and the very audience she hoped to inspire has grown skeptical. But one thing is certain, Megyn's next move will decide if she fades quietly or stages yet another attempt to win back the spotlight. And here's the real question for you. Do you think Megyn's future holds a genuine comeback, or will every new project just remind the world of past failures? If you've stayed with me this far, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter in this unfolding saga.